Most people believe they know how a man will react when he's pushed too far. They expect shouting, confrontation, or an outburst of rage. But Sigma males don't follow that predictable pattern. Their reactions flow to a rhythm entirely their own, one that doesn't fit into society's usual emotional chaos. When someone crosses a Sigma, there's no shouting match, no storm of words, and no need for attention. What follows instead is something far more chilling. A calm, deliberate silence that speaks volumes. A Sigma male lives and breathes independence. He isn't bound by the invisible social codes that most people obey. His sense of worth doesn't come from being seen or validated. It comes from being in control of himself. For him, freedom, emotional mastery, and mental discipline are the cornerstones of life. And this inner strength dictates how he handles betrayal, disrespect, or manipulation. He doesn't argue to prove he's right. He doesn't seek revenge to feel powerful. His quiet detachment is the power. When someone wrongs him, his response is precise, measured, and impossible to read. He lets distance do the talking, and that unnerves people more than any argument could. It's the same quiet dominance you see in Cillian Murphy, a man who doesn't need to raise his voice to command a room. That aura of stillness, control, and depth perfectly captures the Sigma essence. Strength through silence. People often walk away from encounters with him feeling unsettled, unsure of what just happened. They thought they had control, until the Sigma turned the entire situation around without saying a single word. This video reveals 6 powerful ways Sigma males leave anyone who crosses them completely off balance. Not through manipulation, but through intelligence, composure, and an unbreakable sense of self. Once you understand how they move, you'll realize you can't defeat a man who isn't playing your game. Way number 1. Disengage without drama. One of the first ways a Sigma male leaves people bewildered is by walking away peacefully. No yelling, no begging, no desperate attempts to explain or defend. Just quiet, decisive withdrawal. He doesn't argue for respect. He simply stops offering his presence. And that silence, it hits harder than any words ever could. When someone expects an argument and gets calm indifference instead, the silence becomes deafening. Most people prepare for a fight. They're ready to defend, to justify, to manipulate the conversation. But when the Sigma gives them nothing to hold on to, they're left with their own thoughts, and that's where the confusion begins. They start replaying every word, every action, wondering when the control slipped from their hands. That's the power of disengagement. It flips the dynamic without a single confrontation. By walking away without drama, the Sigma male proves something vital, that his peace holds more value than any temporary conflict. He doesn't need to prove his worth to those who couldn't see it. He doesn't need to win anyone back. When he withdraws, it's not an act of weakness, it's a statement of strength. He's choosing where his energy goes, and if someone's actions show they don't deserve it, he simply cuts the connection, cleanly, silently, and without warning. The result? The other person is left in uncertainty, caught in a storm of self-doubt, wondering what went wrong and why the Sigma walked away so effortlessly. Way number 2. Act like nothing happened. The second way Sigma males leave people puzzled is through their uncanny ability to move on as if the betrayal never occurred. Someone crosses them, and instead of confrontation, they carry on with their life. Focused, calm, unbothered. There's no visible reaction, no emotional collapse, no drama to feed off of. To the outside world, everything appears normal. And that's precisely what makes it so confusing. Those who expected guilt, tension, or retaliation are instead met with stillness, a kind of emotional silence that feels almost unreal. When someone wants control, they feed off your reaction. But the Sigma male refuses to play that game. His calm demeanor cuts off that supply instantly. He doesn't give satisfaction. He gives nothing. And nothing is far more powerful than rage. This calmness isn't an act. It's genuine emotional detachment. The Sigma male doesn't waste his peace on people who have already shown they don't respect it. His silence says everything his words don't need to. And as time passes, the one who crossed him begins to wonder. Did he notice? Did he care? Was he even affected? That uncertainty starts to eat away at them. Doubt replaces confidence. What they thought was power slips through their fingers. By acting like nothing happened, the Sigma male keeps full control of his emotional world. He doesn't give energy to betrayal, he redirects it. Instead of reacting, he invests his focus into something that actually matters: his goals, his growth, his inner peace. And that's the real difference. While most people spiral trying to reclaim their image or prove their strength, the Sigma simply lives, unaffected, steady, and still moving forward. His silence isn't emptiness. His power contained. This is what makes it nearly impossible for anyone to drag a Sigma male into unnecessary conflict. His calm composure acts as a barrier, one that most people simply can't penetrate. And ironically, this quiet, measured response often hurts far more than direct confrontation ever could. Being ignored, being treated like your actions carried no real weight, cuts deeper than any heated argument. And that's exactly why Sigma males choose silence over shouting. It flips the dynamic. It takes the power away from the offender and places it right back where it belongs, in the Sigma male's hands, leaving the other person uneasy and uncertain about what just happened. Way number 3, speak in shadows. Hints, not accusations. Another way Sigma males leave people utterly confused is through the way they communicate, indirectly, almost poetically. They rarely throw accusations or engage in loud confrontations. Instead, they use subtle remarks, calm observations, and phrases layered with meaning. Every word feels intentional but never fully revealed. A Sigma male might say something like, "People always reveal who they truly are in the end." He doesn't need to point fingers or shout, "You betrayed me." The message lands all the same, only now the other person has to piece it together themselves. That uncertainty eats away at them. This form of communication shields the Sigma male's emotions while keeping his cards close to his chest. He doesn't explain himself. He doesn't overshare. Instead, he creates gaps that others are forced to fill with their own imagination, and those gaps breed anxiety. Suddenly, people start wondering, what does he know? What does he think? What is he planning next? Speaking in shadows allows the Sigma male to stay above emotional chaos. He doesn't get dragged into arguments. He controls the tempo with quiet precision. And the most powerful part? The weight of his few words lingers long after he's done talking. The one who crossed him will replay that conversation in their mind, dissecting every tone, every pause, every look, trying to uncover meaning that may or may not even exist. By saying less, the Sigma male learns more. His mysterious calm becomes a test of others' character, and in that silence, people often expose their own guilt. That's what makes Sigma males so hard to read and so impossible to manipulate. Way number 4, reflect their energy. Sigma males possess a rare skill. They mirror exactly what people bring to them. If someone comes at them with coldness, arrogance, or disrespect, they return the same energy. No more, no less. There's no dramatic escalation, no emotional outburst. Just a steady reflection of behavior that quietly turns the mirror back toward the offender. And that's where the confusion begins. The person suddenly feels the weight of their own actions. If they were dismissive, now they're being dismissed. If they played mind games, the Sigma male now plays with effortless calm. It's not revenge, it's equilibrium. This subtle approach forces people to face themselves, and that's rarely comfortable. Over time, they begin to notice the pattern and start wondering why things suddenly feel so off. That uneasy feeling is the mirror working. For the Sigma male, this tactic isn't about teaching lessons through lectures or arguments. It's about maintaining balance and setting natural boundaries without ever having to announce them. His unspoken message is clear: I treat you exactly how you treat me. And that's a power most people don't know how to handle. Those who once thought they could disrespect him freely now realize they're only hurting themselves. because when their negative energy bounces back in silence, it exposes the truth of their own behavior. Way number 5. Surprise kindness after cold silence. Here's where the Sigma male truly throws people off. After someone crosses him, he might go completely silent, distant, detached, almost ghost-like. The other person assumes it's over, that the connection is gone for good. But then, unexpectedly, the Sigma male returns, calm, grounded, and even kind. That sudden warmth after a stretch of cold silence confuses people on a deep level. They expect resentment, but instead, they're met with composure. They expect grudges, but are met with peace. This kindness isn't weakness. It's power in its purest form. Because the Sigma male isn't being kind out of pressure or pretense. He's doing it by choice. It's not about forgiving or forgetting. It's about moving forward on his own terms. This shows emotional maturity and self-mastery, two traits that completely disarm those who thrive on chaos. The person who crossed him now doesn't know what to think. Is everything forgiven? Is he plotting something? Has he outgrown me completely? That confusion alone is enough to make them tread carefully next time. By choosing kindness after silence, the Sigma male shows that no one, absolutely no one, has the power to dictate his emotional state. He operates beyond anger, beyond ego, and that is exactly what keeps people intrigued and uneasy long after he's gone. What may seem like forgiveness from a Sigma male is often nothing more than closure, a final decision to move forward without carrying the weight of anger. He doesn't stay trapped in resentment or waste his peace trying to prove a point. Instead, he rises above it, showing that moving on doesn't always mean reconciling. It means reclaiming control over his own emotions. This calm, deliberate warmth that follows can be deeply disarming. It highlights his independence, his ability to choose peace not out of weakness, but out of wisdom. It leaves people guessing. Does he still care, or has he completely detached? That uncertainty is powerful. Way number 6, stay mysterious. Reveal little. Let them wonder. Perhaps the most baffling move of all is the Sigma male's quiet mystery. Even when tension rises or conflict brews, he remains composed and unreadable. You'll never see him expose his full emotions, nor will he reveal his every thought. He shares only fragments, enough to be understood, but never enough to be predictable. This deliberate secrecy makes him nearly impossible to control. When someone crosses him, his silence becomes even deeper. He doesn't explain how he feels, he doesn't reveal what he'll do next. He just lets the other person sit with the uncertainty. And that uncertainty becomes its own punishment. They start to wonder, did he forgive me? Did he forget? Or is he simply waiting for the perfect moment to act? That confusion slowly eats away at them because the Sigma male never gives closure to those who don't deserve it. But here's the truth. This guarded nature isn't about manipulation. It's about self-preservation. Sigma males understand that independence is born from protecting one's inner world. By keeping his true thoughts hidden, he ensures that no one can use his vulnerability against him. He holds the power simply by choosing when and if to reveal anything at all. This kind of control leaves others uneasy. Those who expect a clear response are met with silence. Those waiting for an emotional explosion face only calm. And those seeking control over him find themselves powerless. The Sigma male's mystery lingers long after the conflict ends, making people question not just him, but themselves. His ability to reveal so little while maintaining such commanding presence is what makes him unforgettable. The Sigma male doesn't need to dominate a room to be respected. His silence does that for him. The way Sigma males handle being crossed defies all expectations. They don't chase conflict, they don't seek revenge, and they certainly don't waste their time proving their worth to those who failed to see it. Instead, they use quiet moves that leave lasting impact, the kind that echo in people's minds long after they've walked away. This is the true essence of the Sigma mindset. When he disengages without drama, he proves that validation means nothing to him. When he acts as though nothing happened, He strips power away from those who sought a reaction. When he speaks in shadows, he forces others to confront their own guilt while wondering how much he really knows. By reflecting energy, he shows others the mirror they've been avoiding. By showing unexpected kindness after cold silence, he demonstrates mastery over his emotions and confuses those who expected bitterness. And by staying mysterious, he ensures that no one can ever fully predict or control him. Every one of these responses comes from one unshakable source: independence. The kind of quiet strength that doesn't need to announce itself to be felt. Sigma males live by their own rhythm, play by their own rules, and never rely on manipulation or dominance to assert power. Their strength isn't loud. It's internal, composed, and unyielding. That's why they're so often misunderstood, yet never forgotten. What unsettles people the most is their stillness. In a world obsessed with reaction, where everyone feels the need to defend, explain, or retaliate, the Sigma male chooses silence. He guards his energy like treasure, keeps his peace sacred, and walks forward without needing validation or recognition. That calm detachment is not indifference, it's control. And it's exactly what makes him unpredictable and powerful beyond measure. Crossing a man like that doesn't end in an argument or a fight. It ends in a silence so profound it echoes. His mystery, his composure, his quiet strategies, they linger in people's minds long after he's gone. Because that's the genius of his response. Restraint as power. If you resonate with this, you already know this isn't manipulation. It's mastery. It's emotional intelligence in its purest form, the ability to protect your peace without losing your integrity. In the end, Sigma males remind the world of one eternal truth. The strongest reaction is no reaction at all. True power doesn't shout. It simply stands unmoved, steady, and untouchable. And that's why anyone who crosses a Sigma male doesn't just remember the silence. They feel it. If this message spoke to you, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Epic Persona, where we uncover the art of quiet power, emotional mastery, and self-control that defines the modern lone wolf.